Hey everybody, it's Kenny K here again. Oh, the sun is shining so bright. Nice sun. And that's the only thing that's gonna be good on this review. I'm gonna review a piece of shit from 1987. Again, chronologically, you guys probably have noticed that I'm doing 86, 87, and chronologically going up. But sometimes I put a movie like Sinister Smile in there or a top favorite. If you ever want a movie review that you like to be reviewed by me, just a horror movie, put it in the comments. No charge, and subscribe because that's for me a badge of honor, and it is free, and I will keep this channel free. I am not out to gain money with this. Now, this movie where I'm talking about is called Slaughterhouse Rock. Now, the title alone now gives you an idea. Um, it gets a 4.4 on IMDb, and after watching this piece of shit, I give it a 3. So it's basically a no watch. But a no watch for me ever again. But this is, if you're still curious, you can look at it. Of course, I'm not saying don't see it. That's your personal opinion. You've got the character. I'm not even gonna write the names of the actors because I never heard of them. You've got Alex and Richard Gardner, two brothers. These are college students living together with these two broskies, Jack and Marty. And then you have Krista, the girlfriend of Richard. She's there to just show her tits and her tiger printed underwear. So yeah, the way even how she dies fucking. So this is a spoiler review, by the way. I'll tell when to stop, and then if you want to see it, because I do tend to forget that I am spoiling it, and then I should have told you. Sorry for that. I'm almost 40, short-term memory. So you also got Sammy, the friend of Krista. Sammy, it's meant Sammy has a crush on Alex Gardner, and there's also a professor, Carolyn, involved, and she is, she's an experienced. She has experience in demonology and all those magical things and philosophy and whatever. Um, then you have a quirky character, really quirky, a ghost basically called Jan Squire, but that's not for now. So the first part of this movie takes place at home, college, at bars. This Alex Gardner guy constantly gets nightmares, and they become more vivid and vivid. One, the most gore is basically in the first part. You get this, and these are only dreams. You get this dream where a demon punches through his wall of his uh, I think it was a bedroom, and he takes the skin, he puts his nails here, and just strips down the entire torso, and you see the guts and the rib cage. Then you have a scene where he is basically roasted, and you see that his entire lower body is um, completely roasted, and then you have a guy in a chef's outfit cutting off a piece of flesh and just of the roasted part and eating it. Cannibal. Now, every time this happens, he gets more. He feels it, like when the stripping, he's like like this, and he feels it. It becomes like when he's being roasted, his bed caught is caught on fire. So at some point, Sammy and Professor Carolyn, who for some reason at some point, and I don't remember, they don't even talk to her about it. She's standing. She knows there's okay something wrong with Alex, that because at class he had also one of these dreams and he had to go, but then just for that, she's standing on their door, the dorm house of Alex, Richard, Jack, and Marty, and she's there in this black, almost cape, witch-like cape, and I thought, okay, this bitch is gonna be an evil thing, because she encourages, because all the dreams that he has are of a person called the Colonel, that basically um, Alcatraz used to be a fort, a military fort, and this colonel was the leader. He killed a bunch of native Indians, he was sadistic. At some point, he had the taste of young women and prostitutes, and he had sex with them, multiple women. But then he had more that as them, not that they hit him, but he hits them with whips. But then it got even further, and he started to slice and dice and eat their flesh like Hannibal Lecter. So he was a complete nutcase, and eventually a revolt happened. The fort got overrun, and he got killed. Now this is apparently a demon. This what Carolyn thinks is that the professor thinks it's a demon that's latching on Alex, and that's for some reason there's no explanation why it's on Alex, and it resides in Alcatraz. It should reside in a jar of ashes, and they have to put fire on it, destroy it, and that will be done. Will be done. Now you got Jack and Marty, and these are the like the bro, yo, dude, laughing at their stupid ass jokes that I thought, okay, is this so funny? Sammy, like I said, she's the more serious young woman or girl, because they're students. Young woman, uh, and she goes out with Alex, and they have a good time, talk. Then of course Marty comes in between and says, "Oh, everybody's cool. Here's some beer," and just splashes everything on the ground. I hate those kind of guys. If you those guys, I think everybody had met so met those guys in a bar somewhere that are so drunk that they irritate the hell out of you, and then they bump up against you, because not because they're wanting to fight, because they're just too drunk, or they want to impose in your conversation. Everybody knows these types. These are the types. Now apparently Jack, his dad, owns a fishing boat. Now Carolyn, Professor Carolyn, said, okay, Sammy says, let's go tomorrow morning. Alex agrees, we're going to Alcatraz. No, it has to be this night, at night. And thinking, why? There's also no explanation for that. I'm guessing because in the daytime you have people wandering around there, maybe security guards, I don't know. But she wants to go at night. So this entire bunch of people goes. Then then something super weird happens. Richard, so they find this jar, and apparently this jar has been broken. The seal is gone, and the demon is out, and they can't. They had to destroy the jar and keep the seal on it, but the seal is gone. So they have a big problem now. Now Alex is pushed away from the group by someone unknown, and the rest is going further. Now, this unknown person is Jan Squire. She's like the comedic relief, but she looks like somebody out of the 50s. She's clothed like that, and at some point she says, "We got a serious problem down here, babe." Yeah, like this, or honey, or she's talking like that. You know what I mean? Like 50s accent or something. And then she's saying that she needs his help. She wants to uh, kill him, but not in a way that because she's a spirit. She died by this demon, by this colonel. She was apparently back then also a lady of the night. And there are multiple. At some point, she wants to. It's not that she wants to kill him. She wants to put him in a sort of coma and take his spirit out so he can help her to defeat this demon. Now, she does the most weirdest dance moves, which had a good tune. There was a cool, that I have to say, there was a cool soundtrack, a rock band, and she's dancing out really weird like, but really it still felt cool. She was really flexible. She was doing this like the from Michael Jackson move, or that. Yeah, she was just doing these weird movements, and it looked cool but weird. Eventually, his ghost comes out, and Alex's body's in coma, and now he sees all dead people that were killed by this demon, like a rock band, like bitten a bite out of his throat and shit like that. But the demon, at some point, takes Richard. It kills him, but possesses him at the same time. So he leaves the body behind, but becomes a demon. So at some point, Alex sees Richard. He says, "But if I can see you're dead, how?" It's the demon. It got to me. And then you've got this extreme scene. So we already saw a loud ass fuck scene between Richard and Krista in the dorm house that everybody can hear it. Wah, 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 like this. And now this demon, but not completely shaped, and you're probably gonna know how it looks like because you see it on the cover, and it kind of looks like Chris Sarandon in Fright Night, because Chris Sarandon as a vampire had 3 forms. He had normal Chris Sarandon, then he had the form where he gets those yellow eyes and those sharp teeth, and then you get the form where it's really just a monster. it kind of looked like that second form of Chris Sarandon, as a vampire demon. So his girlfriend is running towards him. Richard, Richard, I'm so scared. And he puts her on the table. She's, Richard, what you doing? He just takes out our top, tits completely out, then puts her dress down. This leopard skin underwear. I mean, she was casted in this movie to be eye candy, and that's it. That's it. Because then he starts to hump her like the Duracell bunny, the jackhammering her, and at some point he starts to deteriorate his face into that form you see on the cover. The second Chris Sarandon face that I said, with the teeth and the eyes, and he's like over her. She's like, oh, oh. And in the meantime, he keeps doing this. And eventually he takes a bite out of her neck and she dies. Now, the gore isn't. At some point, they're trying to fight him. One guy, I think Marty, gets his neck completely turned around. Then Jack and Sammy and Caroline are trying to fight him with steel pipes, but he's really strong. But then Jan Squire gets involved, and he says, nobody sees her because she's a ghost. You don't get in the way. But she does something and she blows him away, so she apparently can. She's his enemy and can, you know, basically she can't kill him, but she can neutralize him for a moment. But then Alex comes back and he sees Jan Squire and he sees Marty's complete alive, but ghost in ghost form with his head completely twisted. And he's saying, we've got to burn the demon. That's the only thing that I got. It's such a weird thing that he had to do. I don't know what he had to do, especially Alex. The ladies and Jack had to burn the demon, and Alex had to go to the basement level where it's all water and shit like, and there's a wooden door at the end and with chains, and he has to open it, and that would kill the demon. So why, I don't know what the hell's behind those doors. Just flashing lights. So spoiler alert, here it comes. If you don't want to see the spoilers, go and watch the movie if you want to. I personally don't recommend it, but it's also, sometimes you don't get lucky. At the time that I saw this movie, it got a 5.1. So 5.1 for the slasher movie and supernatural horror movie is pretty good, in my opinion. It's good, watchable normally. Normal. In theory, it's watchable. But what happens is, okay, the Professor Caroline, Jack, and Sammy, they lure the demon basically into this room, standing there. He kills Jack, and that's the only goriest scene are gonna get, except the dream sequences from part one. He punches a hole right through his face, and the fist comes out of his head. Then they start to drop kerosene all over, and they're like, and he's like, ah. And then at some point he feels that Alex apparently is in the basement, and now for, it's weird. So he knows this and starts to bounce against the wall and the floor, and every time he bounces, something breaks in the cellar. Alex breaks his hand, and when he's lying there with Jan Squire in her room, his hand is like, and then he gets a scratch, and you see it on his sleeping body, scratch. He doesn't feel it when he's sleeping, but he does feel it when he's being sort of a half a ghost, because I can see ghosts plus all people that are alive. So then he hears something, and the demon, and I think that's the real demon of the colonel, is coming towards him. He looks like a fucking orc, a naked orc with a piece of slab just before his genitalia. He, he looks so stupid. He's slow. Eventually, Alex reaches the door, and he starts to slam, slam, slam. At the above the highest level, Carolyn and Sammy are trying to put the demon on fire, but everything is going ape shit, and everything is on fire. Sammy is basically cut off. She has to get outside. Carolyn can't, and the demon can't, and the house where they lure them in explodes and kills that part of the demon. But then the orc-like demon feels it, but he's not dead yet. He still has to open that door, and eventually it works, and light shines in his eyes, and he dies. And that's the way he dies. Non-explanation what the hell that was. You would think that the demon, the demon, the Richard demon, the brother of Alex, would be can withstand fire. I mean, he's an undead demon. He's part of the undead, right? But apparently, fire is the purest purification there is. And then the body, then Alex goes back to his body, he awakens, but then Jan Squire is leaning over him, and she says, I want you to give you something. I want you to give you something. What? She kisses him on the mouth, and then she disappears. Now, apparently, what happens is she had all these talents, like apparently playing a piano. So we see Sammy and Alex with a broken paw, with wrapped in and looked for, and he starts to play the piano. Now, Sammy says, "I didn't know you can play." Me neither. So apparently, this ghost. I'm not sure if she was a prostitute. That's not even explained why, but she looked like a 50s prostitute. But I think that was just the clothing back then. And then but I think she was like a cabaret woman or something. And then maybe the colonel had his eye on her and killed her. And I don't know. But in any case, she gives him some talents, because he's also really insecure about himself, and he's now more secure, and he's got a new girlfriend, Sammy. So the only character in the movie that I could swallow, and Jan Squire also because she was kind of funny, and the dance moves she did were cool. And there was what's another positive. So the positive, Sammy. I liked Sammy. Uh, Actually, I liked Richard because he constantly wanted to protect his brother and do everything he can to protect. But sadly enough, he's the first to be killed off and become a demon. Um, the Professor Caroline, she's a twit because she doesn't know fuck all. Krista is there just to be eye candy, a whore. And then Jack and Marty are there because they're a bromance, and that's, cardboard characters, so the demon can kill someone, because those are the only two he kills on Alcatraz. Um, Caroline dies in the explosion, but Sammy was the only one because she was the reasonable one. And like I said, Jan Squire liked her because she had those powers to resist him and to back him off. And then also that dance. I've got a few pictures so you can see. Couldn't find clips because it's a relative obscure movie, but if you look around, you can find it. I found it on I think Daily Motion. I had it um, so yeah, that's it. And the rock tune that it had was cool. It's like Slaughterhouse Rock. They hired this cool rock band that played a pretty good tune. Yeah, they played a pretty good tune. But for the rest, it was an adulterated piece of crap. And personally, I'm livid, and I'm gonna end this with me throwing some stone balls. See you later.